So,
it was a hell of a ride for 41 years, I'll tell you that.
wow, I bet. I saw Hail Hail Rock and Roll. Everybody's seen that. And
Yeah.
that kind of portrays him as, he gets on the airplane, he goes to a gig, and he throws his guitar in coach or whatever and picks it up, rents a Cadillac, goes to the gig. Yeah, I mean, is that really how he did it, or did you show up a minute before the gig and kind of prep everybody a little bit, or?
Well, we got to the gigs pretty much close to showtime. A lot of times I was wondering, am I going to have enough time to talk to everybody, And of course, it was not that way when we played at Las Vegas or someplace like that where we played a week, But on the single engagements, a lot of times we get there just in time to show up and play. Had barely time to tune the guitars and talk to the band, and I had a lot of stuff to do, and didn't have much time to do it.
And you would show up, and it would be someone would have a bass amp there for you, and obviously Chuck would have his own.
Oh yeah. He demanded his 2 dual Showman reverb amplifiers, and I usually had a SVT Ampeg and a Ampeg Clancy he had with 810 speakers.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm familiar with that rig.
That's the rig I preferred. A lot of times we had a Gallian Kruger over there, and that's about it. Gallian Kruger, our Ampeg was about all I ever used.
Okay. And then there's the old story, like he would demand to be paid before he played. I don't,
Always.
Really?
Always. Yeah. Well, towards the end, they used to wire the money over before we left. Wire his fee over.
Okay.
Because he didn't want to come through customs with more than $10,000,
Yeah.
Because they give you a hassle there all the time.
And that was.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting a weak connection here. Do you think that stemmed from the old days when he was probably getting ripped off from clubs?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, after the show, what recourse have you got,
Yeah.
And in fact, the guy said that to us one time. I remember his friends. The show's over, baby. And things change when the show's over. Like, you get a luxury ride to the show, but after the show's over, it's hard to find anybody around to drive you to the hotel, So that's why he wanted his car until he left, He wanted a car to drive himself. So he didn't have to depend on anybody else. I got a book coming out. Be sure to pick it up. It's I go into some detail about that. Yeah, it's in the editorial stage right now. They're editing it, and it probably won't be out until October, November. I try not to say anything about it because I just don't want to call it kind of attention to it until I'm really sure that it's coming out the way I want it to.
Right.
But it's called Memories of Chuck, and it's got a pretty interesting stuff that happened on the road, behind that nobody knows about. I don't write anything about all the other stuff. So much stuff's been written about him. This is stuff that only I could write anyway.
Right.
It was just me and him, for the most part. Well, I would say, except for the last 10 years, yeah.
Okay.
From 76 to 2006, 5 or 6, it was just being him.
Okay.
And sometimes we take Ingrid along with us, but which ones he play with us at that time?
Okay. Wow, what an amazing ride that must have been.
Oh, I know. You can't imagine. And, most of the time it went over pretty smooth, so I didn't say anything about that. I just told about the rough spots. stuff where you would like fire the piano player, and I'd have to go over and fire him right on stage and tell him to get off the stage, and it was tough.
Wow.
I felt sorry for them. But that happened. But if they didn't fit, it didn't fit.
If they weren't.
And at that time, he could play a show by himself. He didn't even really need me along. He could do it by himself. That powerful.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was a powerhouse on stage. I saw Chuck play in Snowmass. I want to say in like 1999 at a big outdoor thing. Do you remember that gig?
Where at?
Snowmass, Colorado.
We played some places in Colorado there. Where's it near?
It's in the Aspen Valley, kind of right down the street from Aspen, actually.
Yeah, I think probably was there.
Okay. It was a particularly kind of a weird show, and somebody from the audience jumped up on stage and started singing along, and Chuck took that as an opportunity to leave because it was on a high note.
Oh, yeah. Well, we had a lot of those, too. I couldn't. We had one in Berlin I wrote about. The band, they said, well, if we can't all play, they had a whole band there. It was a 4-piece band. And I told them, well, all we need is a guitar player and drummer. Or not a keyboard player and drummer.
Okay.
And they said, well, if we don't all play, none of them will play. So me and Chuck went up and started a show by ourselves. And a guy came up out of the audience to play drums. we got through that pretty well. And that happened a lot. And I know one time, I didn't write about this one, but one time in Italy, the guy didn't want to pay me. The promoter usually paid me. And he didn't want to pay. He already hired a bass player and a bass player and a drummer. So he said, well, I don't need your bass player. I got my own bass player. So Chuck said, okay, I'll try him out. If it doesn't work, you'll have to hire mine. So after the first song, Chuck said, I can't work with this bass player. I knew that was what he was going to do.
Right.
So he made him change, and the drummer quit too. The drummer said, well, how would I quit too? And we got one of the security guards came up and played drums. It was, and Italians loved it. They went crazy.
That's fantastic.
But stuff like that happened quite often. I wrote about a lot of those. And other things that I wrote about. That's the kind of stuff I wrote about. Just stuff that happens behind the scenes that nobody knows about. And just weird things happen. And I got about 101 pictures in here too that I have never been seen before too. That's another plus.
There was another thing I read about him as far as like his pay scale. I think I read this in this Bill Graham book, Bill Graham the promoter, and he said that one of the things that Chuck would do is he would demand to be paid up front, and let's say it was like $10,000 or something like that. He would demand $10,500, and if the band, he would take the whole thing, and if the band was good, he would give the $500 back. Does that sound familiar?
I never knew of anything like that, though.
Okay.
No, he was pretty much set on his fee, whatever his fee was at the time. And I don't think there was any stipulation about whether the band was good or bad.
Okay.
There may have been before I came along, but once I came along, that never happened that I know of. In fact, I've seen his rider. I read his rider all the way through. I never saw anything like that in there.
What was his rider like? What sort of things did he, besides like the musical, amplifiers?
Well, his rider was, he liked the two-Shelvin reverb amplifier. He had to have those.
Okay.
He had to have a rental car, not a personal car, but a rental car. at his disposal that he could drive from the time he got there to the time he left.
Okay.
And he didn't require much in the dressing room, like maybe some sandwiches or candy bars and orange juice or something like that. So we never had alcohol or nothing like that.
Okay.
That was about it. I mean, and the hotel rooms had to be to his liking, you know. And so he had to approve of the hotel. And in Europe, it was always a 5-star hotel. That's all we stayed at.
Okay.
And I had to stay with him. The band now, when we first started out, the band didn't have to stay there, but I had to stay. I was with him a long time.
Okay. Did he ever get upset with you? I know I've read that he had quite the hot temper.
No, we never had. I don't think we ever had cross words. In fact, we were pretty good friends. Over the years, I mean, we got to be really close friends. I used to go out and cut grass out of the park, all kinds of stuff like that. Clear trees that fell down across the roads and stuff.
Wow.
And we'd go watch the Cardinal ball games. He was a big Cardinal fan.
Okay.
So I'd go out and watch the ball game, baseball games, football sometimes. But yeah, he was down to earth, really. I mean, I never had a problem with him at all. And, you know, the only time the promoters had a problem was when they didn't adhere to the contract. He didn't ask for much, but he insisted on everything he asked for.
Yeah.
And when they tried to cut corners, it pissed him off. And he made them pay. And of course, you know, once they paid, well, they satisfied the contract, so it was okay with him. But they had a case they asked for it because they had to pay the money.
Right. And what's happened to his property now that he's passed away? Do you know?
I don't know exactly. Barry Park's still sitting out there, and his secretary's still living there, looking out for the place. As far as I know, I don't know what's going on. He had a new house built out there. And, I don't know if anybody's living in there or not.
Okay. And he had speaking of secretary, he had the same person for a lot of years too, didn't he?
Oh yeah, Fran Gillian.
That's right.
He's been there for over 50 years. Yeah.
That's incredible. And are any of his other kids musically inclined?
Well, just his son and his grandson and Ingrid. The two older daughters, our two other daughters, they're more business oriented.
Okay.
They're not into music. They may be into music, but they don't play.
Right. You're pretty much. Are you kind of retired from music, or do you ever still?
Oh yeah. I'm 76 years old now. I let the young guys do it.